Hey guys, it's GameFace here and welcome back to a little bit of a different video. It's a shorter video than usual as well. I thought I'd do a video basically about the Leeds versus Huddersfield game, which I went to go see obviously on Saturday. For those of you who don't know, Leeds, well, lost 1-0. It doesn't seem like a bad result given the fact that Huddersfield were top of the league, but really, performance-wise, it was not great. Apologies that some of this goes out of focus and maybe a little bit shaky. I'm also in a stand, so it's going to be a little bit shaky at times as well. But I thought I'd share with you guys some of the footage that I got, some of the pictures as well that I took throughout the match. Not a, obviously, particularly positive performance, but it was still quite a good experience and a great game to go to. The Huddersfield fans were very loud as well. They were right next to us, really loud throughout the whole match. And it was really kicking off as well at some points, but I'll show you those as we go through. So if we could go ahead and hit 20 likes on this video, that'd be really appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. That'd be fantastic. Let me know in the comments below if you went to the Leeds game on Saturday and what you thought of the performance. I think the general consensus was Leeds did not play very well, but there was a lot of good support from around the stadium. I think it was 28,514 people or something that went to the game. So there was quite a large capacity, loads of people around, but throughout the game there was a lot of stops, like water breaks and that sort of thing, because there's a lot of injuries. Here we've obviously got Rob Green and Carl Bartley there getting sorted because they got some sort of injury. Rob Green in particular was down for a long time with his injury. The set pieces, well, I thought I'd give them a mention. For those of you that are at the game, you'd have seen how awful the set pieces were. This one actually didn't go to the first man, but it didn't really it wasn't particularly successful in itself. I thought I'd just show you some of the footage. I've not captured any of like the key moments particularly. I've got some celebrations from when they scored. There was nothing particularly key that I caught from this. A lot of people here were getting very frustrated at Rob Green as well because he was taking his time. At this point it was still 0-0, approaching half time. But they were getting very frustrated with him, and I think most people, I think there was a vote on Twitter, and most people agreed that they'd rather have Silvestri starting in goal rather than Rob Green. So let me know what you thought about that in the comments below as well. Would you rather Silvestri starts in goal? Got a couple of pictures of him later on. This is now half time here, and I was watching Roof, and I think it's Vieira there, kicking the ball around. I just liked this from Roof here, as one of the Huddersfield players is trying to go back to the bench. He went for the little Megs, didn't quite work out though, sadly. But here the players come out back onto the pitch for the second half, and it was still 0-0 at that point. So it wasn't too bad. The first half, to be honest, was okay. It was very much a case of each other cancelling each other out, like Gary Monk said in his interview afterwards. However, I completely disagree with cancelling each other out throughout the whole match. It really wasn't the case in that second half. Completely overrun. Huddersfield so much better. And Leeds just really, I mean, we're lucky to only lose 1-0 to be honest. Some really poor performances from a lot of players. But yeah, there wasn't really any highlights in terms of the player performances. There was maybe just the fact that, I mean, Saka did a couple of okay things. Anderson maybe should have won a penalty in the game as well. But there wasn't really anybody that was outstanding in the match. I thought Janssen deserves a mention as well. But here, Huddersfield went 1-0 up. The crowd went absolutely mad. They were cheering and obviously really going for it at that point. They were loving it. There was a few people, I think, managed to get on the pitch as well. A couple of people had to be taken away by a steward. It kind of kicked off around that point, and they got taken away up into the stands, which is quite funny to see. But all the Huddersfield fans were loving that, and there was actually quite a lot more shouting than you'd usually get at the match, because some of the officials were absolutely terrible in the game. They really were. So they were really getting at them at some points in the game as well, which you'll see later on. This is one of the examples of how poor some of the set pieces were. I think this might have been Calvin Phillips that took this one, I can't quite remember, but it just went straight to the front post and got headed away straight away, and that happened so many times with free kicks and corners, in particular in the second half. Just really poor from those. So yeah, it was a bit disappointing, the performance from Leeds. Like I say, it was a good game to go to, atmosphere-wise and that sort of thing. A couple of star performances from a few of the players. Moy looked really good, the Man City loanee player that was playing for Huddersfield. But for Leeds, there wasn't really anybody to particularly pick out. It was quite a poor performance from most of them. But yeah, the Huddersfield players, they actually did quite well. They put in some really good performances. Some of them just managed to run at the Leeds players and get past them every single time, it seemed like. So this was another example of Huddersfield's dominance throughout most of the game, to be honest. There was a couple of minutes at the start of the second half where we actually looked quite good, but to be honest, most of it, we weren't that great. And they kind of pinned us in for a lot of it as well. They were happy to slow down the game a little bit, and kind of not really be forced to take loads of shots. And there's a couple that were quite good. One from Huddersfield in particular that nearly lobbed Rob Green. That was quite far out. But really, I can only talk about Huddersfield's chances because Leeds really didn't create that many. Just Chris Wood at the front post getting a header. I think it might have hit the side netting, which wasn't particularly good. But some of the fans are getting really frustrated with the referee and the linesman and that sort of thing. Loads of Huddersfield fans were not happy. And then Dakara did this. And as you can see, people were outraged by it, really getting angry by it, which is quite funny to see. But yeah, apparently Dakara fouled one of their players. Not really too sure whether it was a foul or not. I didn't quite capture it quite as well as I'd hoped on the camera. Just missed it. But yeah, they gave basically a free kick to Huddersfield for that point. But that is pretty much everything. There was 8 minutes added on. Not too much happened during the game. Gary Monk was doing a lot of complaining to the linesman and all the different officials and that sort of thing. So there's not too much more to show you. There's a couple of pictures here. This was before the game. This is a picture I took of Sacco. He was just kind of getting ready to get in his position. There's some pictures obviously of their warm-up as well there. And I've got a couple more pictures of them getting water and that sort of thing before the game. So I thought I'd kind of just about include these ones in and show you some pictures that I decided to take as well. This was just before the game began. Gary Monk complaining to one of the officials. As usual, there was a lot of that going on throughout the game. And Huddersfield players here at half-time as well, passing it around on the pitch. Dakara returning to the bench as well. We saw a glimpse of him obviously when he came on for Antonsen. Loads of boos at that point as well, by the way, for Antonsen and Dakara when that change was made. And a picture of Silvestri as well. As I mentioned him before, a lot of people calling for him to be Leeds' #1 keeper again, ahead of Rob Green, who they probably don't feel particularly safe with in goal. I can understand that he did look a little bit dodgy at times, but let me know what you think about that in the comments below. That is everything. Quite a quick video. Just thought I'd let you know about my time at Leeds vs Huddersfield and let you know my thoughts about the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and yes, that is it. Thank you for watching. If we could go ahead and hit 20 likes on this video, that'd be really appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Goodbye.